Hello everyone, I'm Sarah Symmetry, as you can see, should be up there. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, liberal use of facecam today. I've been hard at work making a lot of different videos to sort of build up as a backlog that I'll be releasing, hopefully in a few days or so, and this will be one of them. Today I'm going to be going over and sort of deconstructing a Magnamalo Charge Blade run that I did back in May of this year, 2021. Just to talk about what was involved in the process of getting the run, how long it took, 2 weeks, and really sort of the strategies that enabled me to go for the time that I was looking for. Magnamalo versus Impact Charge Blade, specifically a grounded SAED playstyle, is an incredibly fun matchup, probably one of the best matchups for that style in the entire game so far. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of an unscripted thing outside of my normal videos, so sit back and I hope you enjoy. It's not going to be the smoothest thing in the world, but there we are. So the first thing to note here is that this is a TA Wiki rules run. It's a style of speedrun that takes away a lot of assisting items, assisting comrades like the Palamutes and Palicos, and is generally a bit more restrictive than other styles which are known as freestyle runs that use absolutely everything in the game at their disposal and as many exploits as possible. This isn't about the difference between the two. Both styles of speedrunning are valuable in their own right, but this is TA Wiki rules. I prefer it. It becomes a lot more about you, the weapon, versus the monster. And this is the set that I was using. So we have Attack Boost 6, Bludgeoner level 3, because the Rajang Charge Blade is the one that I'm using. This is pre-update, so this is before it got an extra level added on. It's green sharpness, so the Bludgeoner gives us a boost there. Offensive Guard, we use a lot of guard points and counter peak performance throughout this run, so that's useful there. Stamina Thief is a bit of a freebie, but I like to think that it helps contribute towards some stamina flinches to keep Magnamalo still. Artillery, of course, load shells, which allows me to load up a full 5 files from Yellow Charge, which becomes very useful in this run. I'll explain why in a moment. Rapid Morph is also for a very specific scenario, that will be explained in a moment. Guard is there to allow me to guard a lot more of Magnamalo's attacks and respond with an SAED rather than having the full knockback, and I believe on the next page we've just got something like defense boost and nothing else that's really important, just extra skills. The reason that load shells is such an important skill is that often you will be relying on toppling Magnamalo via exploding the purple gas on his head, his back, his arms, and occasionally his tail if you get a little bit turned around. When you catch up to Magnamalo, you have just enough time to do a full combo to charge up to red. And then if you get there in enough time, you might just be able to get the axe hit of the SAED out before Magnamalo gets up. Having load shells means that you actually save a bit of time, and you can pretty much guarantee an SAED on a topple, and in some cases it allows you to get 2 off during a KO if you're quick on the draw. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started with this. So I'll just be going through and pausing at opportune times when there's things that I want to talk about. The first thing that you'll note here whilst I let this play is that there are 3 spawns Magnamalo can get. The most common is Area 9, I believe it is, which is by the houses and is surrounded by Bullfango. That is the quickest, but the Bullfango get very annoying. I got the second most common spawn, which is Area 13, or Area 12, pardon me. I do this cool little wire bug movement here. If you really optimize it, you never have to touch the ground, but you can see here that I didn't get the mid-air great wire bug. Occasionally the Roggies can run over and annoy you if you topple Magnamalo, but really I found myself most comfortable with this one, just in general. The final spawn, I believe, is Area 6, down where Mizutsune can spawn, and that's the worst one. You just reset on that one. Okay, so first things first, Magnamalo will either start out by doing one of 2 things when he starts out. Now, he will, once he does his opening roar, he will either jump backwards, do the spinning tail shotgun blast, which is a great move to start with if you position yourself right, because Charge Blade can respond to that really well. We'll see an example of that in a moment. Or, as high rank Magnamalo tends to do, he will do a pin attack. The pin attack's very interesting, but with that you just block, you go straight into a charged sword attack, and as you can see here I'm at red shield, I've got full files, and I've got another full set ready to reload. Now, Magnamalo comes back over to us, does his flip. Every single time Magnamalo does a flip like that, he will always do a paw slam. Pay attention to his arms. If they are not lit up, he will do one slam. If they are both lit up and he's not bound down by Wyvern Ride, he'll do 2 slams. This is very important for Charge Blade because you have to block the first one and then SAD whenever he stops doing the paw slam. So you've got to make sure you pay attention to the arms so you know how many blocks you need to do. The reason that you block here is that you'll be running Counter Morph, which means that this will allow you the chance for a boosted SAD file hit, as you'll see here. So he's only going to do 1. I'm going to respond with a block for an SAD. Block. There's the counter morph, nice big hit on the head, and boom, 124 per file, very nice. This charge attack. Okay, so this charge attack, it's very important to know how to respond. This will be a very, very common attack that Magnamalo does. With guard 1, you can easily guard point through it, or if you're out of files, you can counter peak performance. I run away here, because Magnamalo will always do 2 things after this attack. One is that he will close the distance and come up to you for another paw slam, which is amazing. The other one is that he will jump up in the air and do a flip, and when he stares at you, whichever side his tail is I believe it's the same side as to which it will land. Now, that allows you to position yourself to get an SAED off, but of course with the countermorph boost, you really want that paw slam. So you see here, he comes back in for another paw slam, I block, and then we get another one for free here. Boom, big old hit. Unfortunately, he flinches and our files go running under Magna, which is a real pain, but that's just how it is sometimes. So we counter-morph here. Now, the reason I'm going for an AED, I won't pause just yet. The reason I go for an AED is to build up KO damage. I kind of mess up my guard here, but I know that I'm able to get a KO off because I've done one AED. So we just go and angle our SAED towards the back, and we get the back pop. He does actually damage himself when he falls over backwards when you pop the gas like that, so it's very important to do. And here we go. We're out of files, so I have to use a counter peek to refresh the files to get another SAD, but boom, all of those hit the back leg. Very nice. This attack you can respond to. I've seen some better runners than I, such as Seedman or Tawashi, Japanese runners, get an SAD using this, but for me, I didn't know how to respond. Again, we get the paw slam from the tackle attack. 114. You saw that 168 there? That was the dulling strike. Okay, the big shotgun blast. Right, let's just wind that back a little bit. So the big shotgun blast is an attack that Charge Blade users with counter peek can respond to. So you see here, he swings the tail. As he fires it, we counter peek. Now you see I'm delaying here. So one more time we go back. And you see, I don't immediately go into the SAD. What happens is your character will hold the charge blade in front of them, and then they'll slightly move. The moment they slightly move, and if you're within range of Magnamalo, that's when you press the input. I believe this one lines up here, but as you can see, Magna will swing his head back around, and boom, you get the SAD all through the length of his body, rather than hit him sideways. Lucky flinch here. I go for a bit of a reckless SAD. Okay, tail spear attack. This is all going very fast. It's surprising how much I remember. The tail spear attack is, again, another great attack to respond with counter peak performance into SAD. The problem is you can't get too close to him. There's a temptation if he's far away and doing this attack that you want to run towards him, close the gap and whatever, but the moment he prepares for that strike, he's locked into your position where you are. You can only realistically take about a step or two forward before his body hits you, you get the counter peek, and then the tail hits you and you go flying. So those are 2 separate hitboxes there. Okay? Still with me? I hope so. So, as you can see here, we get the SAD, he backs up, he's against the wall, so I actually walk away from him, and I smack my hand on the desk for some reason, but we still get a decent amount of files there. Again, after that spin attack, he'll sometimes do this tail slam. A lot of times that tail slam will miss. It is a frustrating thing about running Magnamalo, but it's just something you have to deal with. Decide to go for the SAD here, only get 2 files. That was more of a reckless thing. Okay, now, I spoke earlier on in the video about how there is an attack that you kind of want Rapid Morph 2 for. It's this one. Magna hops back, does an insta-roar, charges up, and then explodes. It's a lot easier to counter that explosion roar with an SAED if you have Rapid Morph 2. So you'll see it here. Just a little bit quicker, and you just get all of those files in, so we get a lovely little KO. I think around this point is when so I AED here, my red shield runs out, which is a real shame. That did cost me some time. I should have been paying attention to my red shield here, but I was kind of seeing red myself, so I wasn't concentrating too much, if I'm being honest. So we're just going in for some small sword hits. He does the roar into tackle again, roll away, and he comes back in for the paw slams. There's one. Unfortunately, I wasn't expecting him to flinch there, but I still go for it anyways, which is great. And then he goes back into the paw slams, very lucky. Full SAD here. We actually get a lot of those files on the back leg, and we still get the topple. Close the gap, charge back up, and now I've got yellow. I've got full 5 files from load shells, slam down, boom. 3 minutes and 56 seconds. 3 minutes 56. My goal, this took 2 weeks. My goal was to get, originally it was under 5 minutes. I think my first ever run that I was happy with was like 6 minutes 10 seconds, and it was under 5 minutes, and then I got like 5:20 or something, and I thought no, sub 4 is possible, sub 4 is possible. Definitely with amazing play and a really good talisman, you can get down to like 3 minutes 20. Hell, even sub 3 minutes could be possible, but like I said, 2 weeks this took me. I was done at this point. I was happy. Rise, let's be honest, isn't the best game for speedrunning, but yeah, that's sort of an explanation of how this Magnamalo run really went. If there's any questions you have about the set, about various movesets or what have you, post them in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this. I might do more. I did do one previously with a Gold Rathian run, which you can see. It should be up there somewhere. I'll put it in the little thing above me. But yeah, that was Magnamalo. That was the breakdown of the speedrun. I hope you all enjoyed. And oh, one final thing. If he moves areas, reset. It's too much of a time waste. Okay, thanks lads for watching, and I'll see you all next time.